Welcome to United Soccer FC and this week in MLS. This is just a quick recap on the games played, a look at the standings and the upcoming games played. For that here for MLS this past week ending on Sunday, May 2nd here. So let's get to the action here. For this week in MLS here, it started on May 7th. The New York Red Bulls got a 2-0 win over Chicago Fire. Goals by Christian Caceres in the 47th and Caden Clark in the 64th minute. Real Salt Lake starting the season 2-0 and the last undefeated team in MLS. 3-1 win over Sporting Kansas City. Sporting Kansas City actually opened up the scoring with a goal in the 17th minute by Alan Polito, but then RSL came back with a Krylich goal in the 35th, and then Ruben Rubino doing what he did with the San Diego Loyal of USL last year, getting a brace, goals in the 52nd and the 77th minute. CF Montreal and the Columbus Crew 0-0. Not a whole lot to say on this one. Crew's obviously rotating roster as well as other teams are. If you playing in the CONCACAF Champions League here. Houston Dynamo got a 1-1 draw at home against LAFC. Tyler Pasher got the goal in the 57th minute, which answered Corey Braid's goal in the 55th minute. Pretty fun game to watch, back and forth. Nice to see Tyler Pasher, Indy 11 last year in the USL. New England Revolution 2, Atlanta United 1. For that here. In the second minute, Brandon Bai got the Revs on the board. There was a PK for Atlanta United, but scored by Moreno in the 43rd. And then in the 53rd, Charles Gill got the winner, to put the Revs ahead to stay. Orlando City and Cincinnati. What can you say about Cincinnati? 3-0 win. Could have been more. I think just how this game opened up, and I hate to say it, for the guys at Cincy Soccer Talk, just how they do. Tesho Akindele scored 33 seconds into the match, and he scored basically off of a back pass from the defender, and there wasn't enough weight on it to get to the goaltender, and Tesho just tapped it in. There's no excuse for that. And Nanny in a pretty brilliant move, faked out the defender where he went sliding one direction, and Nanny brought the ball back in the 19th minute, and then Junior Urso got the goal in the 80th minute to put the icing on the cake here. But unfortunately for Cincinnati, the wooden spoon, I have to admit, 3 games in, they are probably a prime candidate for it. Moving on to Union, Philadelphia Union 0, New York City FC 2. Roster was rotated, but there was also an ugly red card by Jose Andres Martinez in the 16th minute. Now NYC was already up 5-0, up with the goal in the 5th minute by Jesus Medina, and then Valentin Castellanos scored in the 65th minute. But that red card, it wouldn't shock me if we see Martinez get a couple of games added to that here. FC Dallas got a 4-1 win over Portland Timbers. Portland cycled their lineup, although they did bring them in the second half just to try to see if they could get back into the game. Dallas scored in the 2nd minute by Andres Recruit, and the 14th minute by Jodder O'Brien, and in the 45th, basically in the 45th minute, 45 plus 3, Brisson got a goal, so they were up 3-0 at half. They brought on 4 subs at the half here, right after the half. One of the subs, Eric Williamson, got Portland on the board with them down 3-1, but then Dante Seeley got the 4th goal to put the game out of reach in the 85th minute. For that here, in what probably still has to be a surprise, Austin FC got a 1-0 win over Minnesota United. Goal by Diego Fagundes again in the 17th minute. So Austin FC is off to a great start. You'd have to say, especially for a young franchise like that. 2 wins already out of the first 3, all on the road as well. So Austin FC, what's funny is if the Open Cup would have been played here, they would have been one of the teams that would have been qualified for it here. Finishing up on Saturday's action, the Earthquakes got a 4-1 win over DC United. Javier Lopez scored at 53 seconds into the match. Really, the story was Cade Cowell, the MLS Player of the Week, 2 assists, and also had a goal in the 26th minute. And then Jackson Urelli got a brace, goals in the 43rd and 85th minute. DC United did try to answer back in the 31st minute after being down 2-0. The goal by Tony Alfro, but just was not enough, to come back for that here. Sunday's action on May 2nd started with a snoozer. Nashville, Inter Miami, 0-0. Not a lot to say on this game. If you're Nashville, 3 draws at home, probably not what you're looking for first 3 weeks for that here. And probably the game of the week as far as, coverage here, Sounders versus LA Galaxy. Total domination by the Sounders, 3-0. Raul Rudanez scored in the 20th, got his brace in the 90+4. Brad Smith got a goal as well in the 23rd minute. And in the nightcap, Vancouver went down to the Colorado Rapids, 1-0, goal by Diego Rubio in the 26th minute for that here. So where does that leave us? Looking at the standings here for that here. So in the East, the Revolution head with 7 points, NYCFC at 6 points, Orlando City and CF Montreal with 5 points. Atlanta United in 5th with 4 points. Inter Miami at 3 points, and the Red Bulls at 3 points. So those would be the teams that would be qualifying for the playoffs this year. DC United is just outside the playoffs at 3 points. Nashville United actually has 3 points here. I didn't update the point there, but they do have 3. The Crew and Toronto FC each have a point. Philadelphia Union 1 point, Chicago Fire and Cincinnati in 1 point. Cincinnati with what's funny is if you look at their goals, 4 goals against, they scored their first two goals of the season ahead of Nashville. Since then, has not been good, allowing 10 straight goals without a goal. Out west, Seattle Sounders, lead 7 points. Earthquake in second with 6. Real Monarchs with 6 points as well for that here. Austin FC with 6 points. LA Galaxy with 6 points. LAFC with 5. FC Dallas with their big win moves in to 7th. Would be the last spot right now if the playoffs started here. You got Dynamo in 8th. Whitecaps also with 4. Sporting Kansas City with 4 points. Colorado Rapids with 4 points. Portland Timbers with 3. And the only point in MLS that still does not have a point is Minnesota United here. So, the Minnesota is going to be looking to turn that around soon. Upcoming this week kicks off Friday night, May 7th, Real Salt Lake versus San Jose Earthquakes. Chicago Fire hosts Philadelphia Union at noon. The Red Bulls host Toronto FC. The Crew hosts DC United at 12:30. Nashville hosts New England Revolution at 12:30. Whitecaps host CF Montreal at 2. And in the Univision, Turin and on Twitter, FC Dallas and Houston Dynamo. On ESPN, Orlando City, New York City at 5. And all these times are here in Central Time Zone. The big match at 7 on Big Fox, the Galaxy versus LAFC. And then the Rapids host Minnesota United at 9 o'clock for the nightcap. Sunday, May 9th. You got a couple of matches on ABC. Inter Miami hosts Atlanta United, and then probably the best rivalry in North America. Or in the United States, I guess I should say, because they're Liga MX technically is in North America. Portland Timbers and Seattle Sounders also on ABC. So you got a doubleheader on ABC, and then the nightcap on Fox Sports 1. Sporting Kansas City host Austin FC for that here. So should be an interesting week on this week in MLS here. Thank you for tuning in, and hope you have a wonderful week, and thank you for your listen.